Are you one of those that sometimes ask themselves during a game, why am I actually afraid of making mistakes and taking risks? I know what this feels like because I was suffering from it as a young tennis player quite regularly. It's the fear of, well, what is it actually? What kind of fear? Where does it come from? And how can you actually get it under control? In today's video, we want to have a closer look at the fear of failure and how you can overcome it. So let's get started. So what is the fear of failure actually? It's more than just being nervous before a game or a competition. It's more like this question in your head, if I mess up, I'm gonna be the shame of the family. Or if I don't win, the others gonna say I'm a loser. Or maybe even worse, I'm gonna disappoint my coach or my parents. Studies in sports psychology define fear of failure as a deep worry that mistakes or losses lead to shame, blame, loss of value or judgment. So it's not about wanting to win, it's about being terrified to lose. And athletes with a high fear of failure, they tend to avoid mistakes, they don't take any risks, and they focus on avoiding making mistakes instead of creating success. So why does this fear of failure actually hits so many athletes out there? Number one is external pressure. So very often fear of failure is around when we have the feeling that we are under pressure, for example, from our parents or from the coach or from someone else around us, maybe the teammates. And this, of course, can lead to some very high pressure. And then comes this anxiety actually and this fear of making mistakes and fear of failure. We don't want to lose. We are not allowed to lose. Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble. The second point actually is perfectionism. So you set incredibly high standards for yourself and your performance. But this, of course, has a negative impact on your mindset, your emotions, and your body. And in the end, most of the times we joke. Because even if we hit 9 out of 10, we hit fantastic shots, there was one that you missed, and the focus, the mindset is going to be focused on the one that we missed. And that's this twist. We need to shift the mindset to what we've been doing well and what was good, instead of focusing on the mistake all the time and what hasn't worked out properly. And the third point is the social evaluation. So it's when we are too much focused on the outside world. Then of course we might ask ourselves, okay, what is going to happen if I lose? What are my parents? What are my friends? What are my teammates thinking or saying about me? And it's the same with the coach, of course. So what is my coach thinking of me after a loss like that? So it's the fear of looking bad, getting judged, or being blamed, or even letting people down. A 2019 study found out that athletes that have the feeling that they have some controlling coaches, they tend to have a higher fear of failure than other athletes. And this can lead to more anxiety, burnout, and even in the worst case, quitting the sport. Now let's have a look at some practical tips backed by science that help you beat the fear of failure in the future. Tip number one, reframe failure as feedback. So every mistake is simply data and not shame. Simply ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from my mistakes that I made? What can I improve? And how do I want to do it differently in the future? Also reframe negative sentences. This is really crucial and so easily done. So for example, if so far you said to yourself, maybe in your mind, I can't do this, then always add a yet at the end. So I can't do this yet. I'm not good enough yet. Tip number two, focus on process goals, not just outcomes. So it's much more important for you as an athlete that you get into the flow in each and every training, ideally, by being in the present instead of focusing on the future, your final goal maybe, or your vision, or the past, what you've done wrong in the past. So focus on the moment, give your best. Tell yourself before training, today I'm gonna give my best yet again. And that's all you can do. So by focusing on the process getting into the flow, you won't have this fear of failure because you can't think and be in the present at the same time. It's impossible. When you think, you're either in the past or in the future. And for you, of course, it's much more important that you get on a very high level by being in the present, getting into the zone. Tip number 3, build autonomy in your training. So talk with your coach. Tell him that you don't want to have this feeling of being controlled. So you want to be free. So on top, ask questions regularly in training. Yeah, you have to think yourself. Don't leave everything to the coach. Take ownership of your training and your progress by asking questions and by reflecting on yourself regularly. Tip number 4, practice failure in training regularly. Simulate pressure moments. Do some impossible drills. This will help you get used to mistakes and some mission impossible drills. And this will have a positive impact on your whole mindset, and you won't need to fear any mistakes or failure in your future trainings and competition. By doing this, you get used to mistakes and they don't scare you anymore. Tip number 5, use emotional coping tools. This could be deep breathing. So do some belly breathing before and during competition and training. This will bring you into the zone. This will shift the focus from your mind to your senses, to your sensation. This will also help reduce stress in your mind and in your body, and you will feel much more relaxed instead of being stressed out. Tell yourself, I give my best, instead of, oh, I missed this shot. And work with visualization. So imagine yourself before going into a game, a competition. Imagine yourself being successful, being mighty, being full of self-confidence, and do this every day. So you're gonna train your mindset also to be more positive and to get rid of this fear of failure, which is only holding you back. And tip number 6, build identity beyond sport. Always tell yourself you're more than an athlete, you're a great human being. When you really believe that, failure won't define you. Fear of failure is real, but it's not unbeatable, as we've just seen. But in case you still have the feeling this is not enough and you need some professional support, feel free to get in touch with me via the Tidecare link in the video description below, and I'd be happy to support you in getting rid of your fear of failure. In case you like the content, please smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Take care and see you soon. Bye.